In mid-2024, Keir Starmer secured a historic landslide, commanding a massive parliamentary majority to form a new government. Skip ahead exactly 2 years to the summer of 2026, and that sweeping mandate has completely evaporated. The entire government is paralyzed. The Prime Minister is facing direct calls to resign. Key cabinet ministers are walking out. High-profile rivals are openly maneuvering to take his place. A parliamentary majority of this size does not vanish over a single policy disagreement. The unraveling of this administration is a simultaneous collapse across 3 distinct battlefronts. The initial trigger was a diplomatic appointment. Starmer selected Peter Mandelson, a veteran operator from the New Labour era, to serve as the British ambassador to the United States. Internal security vetting protocols flagged the appointment. But officials within the Foreign, Commonwealth, and Development Office actively overruled those internal recommendations to push the clearance through anyway. The reason for those security flags became public in early 2026. Leaked files revealed the ambassador had passed sensitive UK government information, including early notice of banking bailouts and tax policies, to the financier and convicted criminal Jeffrey Epstein. The reaction was immediate. The ambassador was dismissed from his post, resigned from the House of Lords, and was arrested on suspicion of misconduct in public office. Starmer built his platform on the explicit promise of restoring integrity to government. By placing an unvetted ally in Washington who compromised state secrets, that foundational promise shattered, triggering the electoral and internal crises that followed. The public delivered its first measurable response to the scandal on June 18, 2026, when voters headed to the polls for a series of by-elections. This chart shows the vote breakdown in the Makerfield by-election. While Labour held the seat, the populist right-wing party, Reform UK, captured an unexpected 34.5% of the vote. When an insurgent party can close the gap this aggressively in a traditional stronghold, the mathematical safety net for dozens of similar Labour seats disappears. 500 miles north, in the Scottish constituency of Aberdeen South, the damage was more severe. This graph tracks Labour's vote share in the district. Compared to their performance in 2024, the party's support dropped off a cliff, bottoming out at a mere 5.4%. The Scottish Conservatives captured the seat by targeting a specific local vulnerability. They weaponized Starmer's ban on new North Sea drilling licenses, arguing the government was actively destroying the region's economic engine. Between the right-wing populist surge in England and the Conservative victory in Scotland, the voting data reveals a government hemorrhaged its base in multiple directions simultaneously. Once the electorate proved the Prime Minister vulnerable, his internal rivals recognized their window to strike. Health Secretary Wes Streeting resigned from the cabinet, publishing a scathing letter that declared the current leadership offered nothing but a complete vacuum of vision. At the exact same time, Andy Burnham, often called the King of the North, leveraged his new Makerfield mandate to re-enter Parliament, positioning himself as a direct challenger. In his victory speech, Burnham warned there would be no second chances for the current administration, demanding more power for regions neglected by Westminster. These are coordinated maneuvers that convert a bad week at the polls into a finalized power vacuum, turning the party apparatus against its own leader. As it stands, the government is caught in a deadlock. The Prime Minister insists he will remain in office to manage the country, while members of his own party demand a clear timeline for a transition of power. Building a massive electoral coalition requires one set of political mechanics. Holding that coalition together through a severe crisis requires an entirely different skill set. A historic parliamentary majority looks like an impenetrable fortress on paper, but when the leadership compromises the integrity that got them elected, voters and internal rivals will dismantle that authority with ruthless speed.